Hey guys, it's Mike over here at New Wave Exotics. I've showed you some videos of my collection feeding snakes. I wanted to do a more in-depth video on rat breeding and how I go about it. And before I start, this is the way I do things. There's no necessarily right or completely wrong way to do it. This is how I go about it, and just want to show you. To begin with, I've got a 5-slot rodent rack here, built by a buddy and me. These are concrete mixing tubs that they're all in, and also I think the dimensions are 26 by 20. I'm not exactly sure. You can get them at Lowe's, Home Depot. They're just the concrete mixing tubs. Also, in terms of food, you can see here I've got dog food. This is doggy bag dog food. It's more tailored to higher protein levels, something that's more suitable for rats, but at the same time this is what's available to me at the moment. I'm working on getting some rodent lab block here, but they'll be fine for now. I haven't seen any ill effects from this, but it's only a temporary thing. I do have a big bag, but that's only because it was something like $12 a bag. But I know a lot of people that use dog food, or others that use mixes of dog food and other things, and they haven't had any issues with it, and they're doing fine. That's great. I haven't noticed any problems. I've heard some things about smaller litter size or smaller babies, but up until this point I haven't seen anything. But I do plan on getting some lab block, whether it be Purina, Rat Shower, Missouri 6F, Native Earth, something along those lines. But I also have I'm using water bottles. I don't have the gravity fed water system just because I'm not producing that volume of rodents. So I don't have to constantly be changing these water bottles. Eventually maybe I'll step up to that, but I don't want to mess with that at the moment. These work fine and they're simple. In the tub like this, actually, let me show you this first. When this was built, it wasn't built with a really low tolerance, so it was pretty loose up in here. And with rats, you got to be careful of that. You'd see the gap in here. If they can get their nose in this gap, they're going to end up chewing through this tub. So what I did is, I have them cut out over here. I have little cardboard shims that I use, and I just kind of push them up into here to push this tub up against this wire mesh. It helps me to where all I have to do is pull them out, and I can just open the tub freely. If I were to make this really tight up here, it would have been really difficult for me to open and close my tubs. So simply I just pull these little wedges out, and then I can open the tub. It takes a little bit more time, but in the long run it's probably going to save me money and frustration from going through tubs or not being able to get my tubs open when I need them to. In this first tub, I've got my males kind of separated. Watch your head. That's one male up there. I've noticed that if you house males together and they're from the same litter, or they've been cage mates, usually they'll be fine. But I've noticed that once you take one away, breed it to a female or females, and reintroduce them back into the same tub that he was in with the other male, they'll start to fight. And I'm assuming it's from the scent of the female. So I've been separating my males. I've been kind of trying to cycle my rats where one rat male will impregnate one female once a week. So I'm not doing the 1 to 3, 1 to 4 ratio that they have, but this is something I've been doing. In here, let me pull all these water bottles out. It's easier to open the tub. In here, I have Mama Rat. She is just being given a break. So essentially, she's being weaned, or her babies are being weaned off of her. She gave birth around 4 weeks ago. And at that point the babies are big enough to where they can be taken off her milk and start to be eating solid food. So what happened is I put her in this little rest drawer essentially. So she's gonna get a couple weeks off before I put her back in to breed again. The rest is key. At least 2-3 weeks, for rest. Otherwise, she's not going to build up her fat stores enough, and it can really be taxing on the mother rat. So that's her. She's getting a little break. In here, I've got her babies. All these guys that I'm weaning out, and it's going to be cleaning day soon. A day or two. Look at all these guys in here. Come here. These are her babies. She had a litter of about 14 of these guys, so a pretty decent sized litter. They're all hoodeds basically. There's some solid colored blacks in here from the dad. But yeah, I'm just weaning these guys out. They're around 4 weeks of age right now. A little bit of solid food so they can reach it. About a week or two, I'm going to start feeding them off. Not all of them. I'm going to save a couple to breed or to grow up a little to feed to the boa that I have or as a future breeder. But yeah, these are these guys. If you can see them in there, this guy's got cool little coats. This one's got some speckles. So does this one. Cute little guys. She had 14. I fed some off to my hatchling ball pythons that I have. Close this back up. And also, this is kind of exciting. The other day, I had 2 pregnant females in this second to last drawer. And one popped on Saturday, the other one popped on Sunday. I didn't even think they were that close together in terms of pregnancy, but it happened. As you can see, Mama right here on hers, she has around, I want to say 11 babies, and this white one over here has close to 13 or 14, so quite a bit going on, and you can see they're taking care of each other. They're kind of freaking out. I'm going to leave them alone a little bit, close this up just a little bit, but they are actually really good mothers. They foster each other's babies out, help the other one out if they need it. So I'll close you up. I know you're freaking out. Mother rats are really good at that. They take care of each other's if they're originally in the same cage together. So if they've been together with the male, they're together at birth when there was birthing, you won't have any issues. I tried to reintroduce a female into a tub with a female that already had given birth maybe a week before, and there was fighting, so I had to separate them. But if they've been together, they'll be fine. Gestation period for rats is normally around 4 weeks, so just think of that from actual conception, where the male impregnates the female, to birth, it's 4 weeks. So these guys are 2-3 days old right now. So I'm gonna have a lot of these little guys running around soon. And normally what I'll do is, I had the male with them still, but once I notice that they're getting close to popping, you'll notice it for sure. It's like they have a tennis ball in their belly. I'll take the male out. Some people don't, but that's just something I do. It's just a little bit safer. Sometimes they won't do anything. Other times they may try and eat the young, but it's something I've done and it's worked well. Just separating the female from the males when they're about to give birth. And in this final tub, I've got my 2 males, and they've been getting along lately. I had this big white guy. He was actually in the tub with the very first rat I showed you, the top male, and they did not get along. And I'm assuming, because of what I said before, was that they could smell the female and the other one, so there was fighting. So if you tend to reintroduce males together, I would suggest maybe giving them a little bath or something. Don't scrub them with shampoo or anything, but a little bit of water, change the bedding out or something, just so they can get that scent off. It'll help out. But these guys seem to be alright so far. This white rat right here actually got a little bit messed up. He had a pretty good gash in his leg, so I separated him, and he seems to be doing better now. Limping a little bit, but he seems to be okay so far. So this is how I do it, guys. If you have any other questions, just let me know. Like I said, it's not a perfect system. This is the way I do it. I tried, when I breed, I tried to introduce one male to one female at a time, so I'll have production every week, but I don't have enough rats for that, so we'll see what happens. I'm gonna eventually have to get a few more females, but yeah, this is what's going on. If you guys have any questions, just let me know, and stay tuned, subscribe, and hit the like button. Thanks, guys.